Hello, Melbourne.
Hello, Worthing. How are you?
Good. How are you?
It's just gone about 10 o'clock here. It's a bit dark. That's why the room is quite dark. But it's going well. We've had a lovely day. It's been a beautiful spring day today in Melbourne. The sun's been out, which has been great. And I have a glass of red to have.
Hey,
And you have a glass of
cheers.
wine, so cheers.
Can I just say this beard is magnificent. Is this your lockdown beard?
My lockdown beard. It's not doing exactly what I'd like it to do, which is get a bit longer. It's now just going kind of buffy, which is not exactly what I want. I'm trying to tame it, but sadly, I think my natural hair just like to spring up, which is,
It's a buffy beard.
it's very thick. Like, yeah, people like to touch it. It's the thinking
Yeah,
bit.
I can imagine.
People like to just do this on it and
Yeah,
make them think of things. So
it's
who am I?
beautiful.
Who am I to stop them? And I like the fact that like there's wisdom just like leaking out of me in these two corners.
There is, yeah.
Great wisdom.
Pure wisdom. Pure wisdom.
You've been telling me about your adventures over the summer and the pandemic and all the things that have come with that for everyone around the world. Australia, England, it's been very similar. But the big thing is Small Made Mighty. Your
Yeah,
new
drum
roll, Small Made Mighty. Tell me all about it.
So, Small Made Mighty is a marketing consultancy that specializes in small, micro, and new businesses.
Excellent. And I'm seeing the bee theme. I've been to see the website. It's a really simple and really easy to follow website. I really like it. Love the color scheme and I love the logos. But what's with the bee theme? And I see you've got a couple of bee pillows in your background there. Tell me about that.
Right. So I've got like a small obsession with bees tea. I could talk about them for days. But I won't today. But I will just focus on one of the most wonderful aspects of beekeeping, which is that an experienced beekeeper can take what we call a nucleus. So that is a queen bee and then a small number of worker bees. And given the right conditions, the nucleus will grow into a full hive. The keeper then provides, all his or her expertise, and that hive will continue to grow and continue to thrive. And he can then split it into two hives. And then as the seasons progress, those two hives turn into four hives, turn into 8 hives, turn into 16 hives. And that's really how I see the work that I do with small businesses. So we take that nucleus of a business and we provide the expertise and the care. Obviously, it's a bit different to looking after bees, but the marketing expertise, and the business will grow.
You're talking about working with small businesses, but surely there's more money in big business. What's the attraction with small business?
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. There's much more money in big business, and budgets are a really, excuse me, a really limiting factor. But I just love small businesses. They're personal, right? We're talking about real people, and those people have real dreams and aspirations. And what could be better for me than knowing that my marketing expertise is helping someone realize their own dreams. It's incredibly satisfying for me.
So I've been a small business owner, and the biggest thing I struggled with was selling. I enjoyed my business, but I wasn't a great salesman. Can you talk to me about the ethics of selling and marketing, and how do you maintain good ethics?
Okay, that is really interesting. You mentioned sales. So marketing is providing the right message to the right people at the right time. Okay, it's as simple as that. The complexity comes in knowing who those people are, where they are, what they want to hear, and how exactly you get in front of them. And I see marketing ethics just like any other kind of ethics. So you don't lie. You don't approach people when they might be emotionally vulnerable. And a bit controversial, but I believe that as a marketeer, you shouldn't be changing people's behaviors. there are 7.5 billion of us on the planet, and plenty of money to go around. There are people who want to buy from you and who will buy from you. It's just a question of finding them. So to me, marketing is more like an art form of communication than sales.
I love the passion. I love the fact that you want to help other people achieve their dreams. What's the dream for Small Made Mighty? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
So I'd like to have a couple of hives of my own, but we'll see. Small Made Mighty has already started to grow organically from word of mouth, which is great. And I guess in 10 years, I'd like to be able to go back and visit all the businesses that we've helped grow, and really see them thriving. Like that's where I get my kicks.
So you've told me about your concept for the business and where you think it's going to go. What does a typical day for Charlotte look like?
Okay. I'm not a great morning person, so it's a question of dragging myself out of bed, and then I go for a run along the sea. I'm super lucky to live like about 200 yards from the seafront. I don't go far. I'm no athlete, but I do find that it really helps with problem solving, and a sort of little injection of creativity. Then I grab a coffee and get cracking. I tend to use my mornings for strategy and planning, anything logical. And then my afternoons are dedicated to any kind of right brain work. So any writing, any kind of creativity, and editing, because that's just the way that my brain works best. Sometimes I'll take a break at low tide and go and walk along the sand barefoot if it's warm enough. And if I can end the day with a glass of wine with a friend, then that's pretty perfect, T.
Excellent. That sounds pretty perfect to me as well. So with Small Made Mighty, who would be your perfect client? What would your perfect client look like?
I am big into sustainability and protecting the planet. So I'd really like to onboard some clients who, like by growing their businesses, we can help protect or regenerate the world's natural resources. Like that would be amazing.
I'm hoping there's some music involved. What's on your playlist that you listen to at work at the moment?
I've got quite an eclectic mix. I listen to the radio in the morning to get a nice blast of positivity and a little bit of silliness. I love the Chris Evans show. And then I switch to Spotify. And I engage with anything that makes me like feel good. So most of the time I've got absolutely no idea who it is or what it is. But it will be something that like is upbeat, is positive, that makes me feel good.
So as an Aussie, I always have a question for my English friends. Do you drink a lot of tea?
No tea. Somebody once referred to me as the most British person they knew, but I don't drink tea. Do you have a lot of barbecues?
I actually do have a lot of barbecues, so pretty awesome. Another note, and you've already told me about your enjoying running and having a glass of wine at the end of the day, but what other things do you enjoy doing when you're not working?
So COVID's kind of kiboshed, well, everything this year, hasn't it? But I'm usually planning my next big trip to photograph animals in the wild. Last year I went out to Canada and I photographed some grizzly bears and orca too, huge pod of orca. It was amazing. And then in January, I was in South Africa visiting two very special lionesses. So that was great. And this year I was supposed to be climbing Mount Kenya with the Born Free Foundation in October, and then heading out to Costa Rica in November, but unfortunately we've had to postpone those. So at the moment, I'm just like lusting after some epic social media accounts of professional wildlife photographers.
Yes, most of us now just lusting after the old life we used to have traveling around.
Living life virtually. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. Thank you for your time. I've really enjoyed our chat today. Looking forward to hearing about how this enterprise goes and wishing you all the best of luck with it.
Thanks, T, and cheers again.
Cheers.